Hey, what's up? I hope you're doing fine. I'm here with your next topic, and what this topic is, this is normality, right? This is one hell of a topic, and this has been important for for every aspect of your preparation, I think. So normality is basically a temperature dependent method to express the concentration of solution. Let me repeat back this line. Normality is a method to express concentration of a solution, and it is temperature dependent, right? Now what is normality, how it is calculated, that's what going to be. But I tell you, before I even start the thing doing here, it will have a couple of topic you may not know already, so you need to be a little bit patient, right? Once you have that, by the end of the lecture you will be able to understand everything. So let me define it first. Normality is defined as number of equivalent. What is equivalent? I'm coming to that. Equivalent of solute present per liter of solution. Present per liter of solution. Right? Now let me repeat back. This is something I have to take it side by side. If you remember, molarity was nothing but number of mole divided by volume of solution in liter. Now this time this normality is a little bit different, and that's what makes it interesting. So N is the symbol of normality, and it is equal to number of equivalent of solute divided by volume of solution in liter. Volume of solution in liter, right? This is the theoretical way to express it. Now convert it into mathematical. So this is going to be it's equivalent. So EQ is going to be short, and then volume of solution in liter. Now you might be wondering, what is this equivalent? So I'm explaining you the equivalent word right here. I'm explaining this word right here, so just pay attention. This is going to be really important. So equivalent is defined as weight of solute divided by equivalent mass of solute. Now you again have something not looking usual, which is equivalent mass. So I'm coming to the equivalent mass again. So equivalent mass is defined as defined as molar mass of solute divided by n factor, right? Now again you have something different here, and that is n factor. So I'm coming to that. So let's talk now n factor, right? N factor, I'm writing this n factor in a simple way, which is nf. All I could write here is it is a number. N factor is a number, right? So what is this number and how you will get to know, I'm coming to that. But let me finish the normality part as an equation here. So let me repeat back. Normality is defined as number of equivalents of solute present per liter of solution. So that's why the equation comes out to be equivalent upon volume of solution in liter. Now I'm going to expand it, right? So this expansion looks like N is equal to, you have equivalent. So what this equivalent is now? Equivalent, you have here weight of solute upon equivalent mass. So this is going to be W, because this represents to weight of solute divided by equivalent mass. Equivalent mass into 1 by volume in liter, right? That's what I've done. Now expand it further. So N is equal to W, right? And now equivalent mass is molar mass divided by n factor. So I'm putting that n factor right over here. N factor divided by volume of solution in liter. So this is how equivalent mass can be converted. Now if the volume of solution is not in liter, it's in milliliter, then you have to divide this volume by 1000 again. So this becomes finally W into NF, which is n factor, into 1000 1000. Finally, divided by molar mass mm into volume of solution in milliliter. So this is the final equation for normality is coming out. Let me repeat that. Normality is nothing but, it is equal to weight of the solute into n factor into 1000 divided by molar mass of the solute into volume of solution in liter. Now we have to find out what is this NF and how you can find out, because another rest of the thing you do know, molar mass is nothing but mass of 1 mole of a substance, which you easily calculate. In case you do not, I'm giving you an example here, something like that. So I'm utilizing this space here. In case you have problem, this mm, molar mass, right? So molar mass of, suppose I'm calculating H2O. So what I will do, I will add masses of all the atoms present here. So this goes like 2 into 1 plus 1 into 16, because atomic mass of oxygen is 16. This comes out to be 18. So 18U, this is the molar mass of water. So molar mass will be, probably been given, or you could also, it's something you can remember, right? So this is the normality equation coming out. Now what we need to do, we have to go finding out the NF, which is very, very important. Let me repeat. NF is nothing but a factor. But why I didn't, make you go a certain way? Because NF depends on, the kind of solute you are using on that one, right? So for a solid, NF is something else. For a base, it's something else. For a salt, it is something else. For a reducing agent, for an oxidizing agent, it is something else. So that's what I'm going to take it now. So in case you need, just copy that, make sure you go fast so that I can take the space and take you through the N factor. Okay, so now let's take NF here, right? N factor. Like I said, N factor is nothing but a number, right? Okay, first, for an acid. How will you get the number of get that number N factor for an acid? Number of hydrogen ion produced by the acid. This is how you can produced by an acid. For example, if there is an aqueous solution of HCl, what you see that this one produces one hydrogen ion, and definitely another chloride ion. So how many hydrogen it has produced? 1. So that's why NF here is equal to 1. Take another example. Suppose I am taking, H2SO4. So you do know that this is a dibasic acid. So what that means, in its aqueous solution, it will produce, two hydrogen ion along with a sulfate ion, right? So there the NF is equal to 2, right? If some other example is given, like same H2SO4 undergo ionization, it may not produce 2 hydrogen ions simultaneously, because it produces first one and then the second one. So it looks like something this. So it's produced 1 H plus, and along with that it produces 1 hydrogen sulfate ion. So as per this one, the NF looks like to be 1. So depending on the number of hydrogen ion an acid is producing in water, that is the NF of an acid. Now let's talk about the base. So now NF for a base, for a basic substance, right? How you can find out? Of course, it will be find out by number of hydroxide ion produced by the base. For example, you have NaOH as a solute. So you do know an NaOH as a salt in water, it will produce 1 sodium ion and 1 hydroxide ion, and therefore there the NF is equal to 1. Why it's 1? Because NaOH in water produces 1 hydroxide ion. So for NaOH it's 1. So for base, let me repeat. For base, NF is equal to the number of hydroxide ion produced. For acid, it is number of hydrogen ion produced, right? And for a salt, it is the magnitude of, positive or negative charge. Let me write it. So NF for a salt, and that is, magnitude of positive or negative charge. So magnitude of positive or negative charge is something that decides the NF. For example, I'm talking about a very common salt, which we also call it common salt. So a common salt in water, right, it ionizes to produce one sodium ion and one chloride as an anion. So definitely the NF is going to be 1 here. NF is equal to 1. Right, because the cationic charge is also 1, anionic is also. Let's take another one. Suppose I'm talking about AlCl3. So you do know what will happen. This produces Al3 positive, and along with that it produces 3Cl negative. So of course the 3 negative or 3 positive. So definitely the NF is going to be 3 here. Right. So this is how you can calculate the NF for a salt, for a base, and for an acid. Now there is one more which I need to make you go, which is okay. So now N factor for oxidizing agent, for oxidizing or reducing agent, right? Okay. Suppose I'm taking any example here like KMnO4, where manganese converts to Mn2+. So what do you see? That the oxidation number of Mn is +7. For K it's +1, and for O it's -2. So I'm not paying attention to other, I'm paying attention to the one which is undergoing reduction. So what we see out here, that manganese is undergoing reduction. And if any species in a chemical reaction undergo oxidation or reduction, then NF is equal to the number of electron utilized, number of electron transferred or lost. Simple word, in this case NF is equal to number of electron transferred. So this is a case of reduction where what we see that the Mn oxidation number is decreasing from 7 to 2. What that mean? There are 5 electron being transferred. So in this case, NF is going to be 5. Right? In this case, NF is going to be 5. So similarly, you can take several other example, and based on that, you can also find out. Right? Okay, let me give you a recap of everything. Normality. Normality is defined as number of equivalents of solute present per liter of solution. Now, what is number of equivalent? Number of equivalent is defined as weight of the solute divided by equivalent mass. Right? Now, we have to go with the equivalent mass. Equivalent mass is defined as molar mass of a substance divided by N factor. And then N factor depends on different substances. The first one was acid. In an acid, you can find out NF by number of hydrogen ion that the acid is producing in water. For base, number of hydroxide ion produced by the base in water. For oxidizing and reducing agent, it is the number of electron being transferred, either lost or gained. So number of electron is transferred, that is equal to the NF factor. In case of oxidation and reduction, you can call it oxidizing and reducing agent. For salt, it is the magnitude of positive or negative charge, not both, only positive or negative charge. So if you apply all this together, I'm very much sure you will be able to solve all the numericals, all the theoretical aspects of normality, and hopefully things will be your way, right? So with this, I'm going to wind this right here. In the next lecture, I will take you through some example. In case you need, you can let me know through your comments and all. And one thing you must do is that revising everything, because this is something new for you, so you do need to revise it. Why? Because if you do not revise, things may you may skip, right? And if you skip, definitely going to be troubling you. So with that, I must wind here. Also, thanks for watching. Take care and maintain social distancing. That's what we need, and cooperate with the system, and right. Thank you.